I am going to do the declaration of pecuniary interests to start. So if anybody has anything they need to say, now's your time. Go ahead, David. Oh, you're on mute there.
Rookie mistake.
Yes, I'm declaring pecuniary interest tonight with regards to the direct financial support that Theatre Orangeville receives from the BIA. Theatre Orangeville, of course, is my employer. And while there's not a personal benefit to me, there's a considerable organizational benefit. So I'm going to refrain from any discussion on that particular aspect of the budget. And I'll also be refraining on voting to approve the budget.
All right, perfect. Thank you, David. Anybody else have any pecuniary interests that they need to declare now? All right, wonderful. And I'm going to go into the land acknowledgement as well. Downtown Orangeville wishes to acknowledge the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people, including the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Ottawa of the Three Fires Confederacy. Thank you to all these members and the esteemed guests in attendance for taking the time to join us for tonight's virtual meeting. Your participation is absolutely crucial in the work we do. Please note that this is a public meeting and is being recorded, so it can be made available on YouTube for public viewing. It has undoubtedly been another exceptional year since we were all last together. We are all so tired of words and phrases like unprecedented, new normal, and pivot. We are all desperate for the end of the pandemic, but in the meantime, we do our best to follow the rules and keep our loved ones and neighbors safe. Of course, we are also doing whatever we can to keep our businesses going during these incredibly challenging times. Like you, the BIA has adapted to the current reality, and this AGM is being held via Zoom again this year. We look forward to gathering in person next year for an in-person social gathering, but to make things a bit more fun for everyone tonight, we put together the drinks, desserts, and dollars foodie bags that I got to see everybody pick up. Anybody who hasn't, there's still a few sitting right in behind me. But I hope that you enjoy them tonight. I'd like to thank Mochaberry, Liffanese, Wicked Shortbread, Son of a Chef, and Adamo Winery for their delicious contributions. And of course, you'll also find some beer in there from your friendly neighborhood tap house, and we hope everyone enjoys. Special thanks to our members, our esteemed guests, Solicitor General Sylvia Jones, MPP Kyle Seaback, Mayor Brown, Orangeville Town Council members, and town staff for making time to be with us tonight. Your ongoing support to our beautiful downtown is essential to our success. Zoom meetings have become very common for many of us, but some of our attendees have less experience with it than others, so I'd like to take a minute to go over just a few things with everyone. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to change your Zoom screen name to clearly identify yourself and your business so we can record attendance accurately. All you have to do is hover over the image, hover over your image, and in the corner there's a blue box on the top right. Just select the change name and you can put your first name and your business name. To keep the meeting orderly, please remain muted during the meeting unless called upon. We encourage you to use the chat function at the bottom of the screen to submit all questions or comments. If you don't see a menu bar at the bottom, simply hover over your cursor at the bottom of your screen and it will appear. We are pleased to welcome Honorable Sylvia Jones to our AGM. After her words of welcome, Sylvia Jones will take a few minutes for a short question and answer. We do only have time for a few questions, but rest assured, any remaining questions will be answered via email. So welcome, Ms. Jones, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Mike, and thank you to the Orangeville BIA for inviting me to join you tonight. I have to say, Allison, your staff, the entire executive, you have been an incredible resource for help and information for all your members during this, I hate to say it, Mike, but challenging times. I know how hard you've all worked, and I know our community appreciates your efforts for providing in-person events like the tree lighting ceremony at Queen's Park, at Town Hall when it is safe to do so. Small businesses and your members have done their part in making changes and adjustments to ensure your customers can still shop local within the guidelines of the provincial restrictions. You've all shown remarkable resolve in facing these challenges, and I appreciate your creativity in staying involved and connecting with your customers and clients. Recently, the Ontario Small Business Supports launched another round of grants and programs in January to help businesses who were closed or had to reduce capacity as we dealt with the surge of cases because of the Omicron variant. If anyone needs help with these applications, my office is available and will get you the answers you need. I'm sure you are aware that restrictions are being lifted as of January 31st. We are taking a cautious approach to reopening, beginning with 50% capacity. I'm here to help you any way I can. If you have any questions about the small business supports or the lifting of restrictions, I'm only a phone call away or an email. My office number is 519-941-7751 or email sylvia.jones.co@pc.ola.org. And Allison has all of this information. So if you need to get a hold of me and you don't know the contact information, please reach out to the BIA. Thank you again for continuing to serve our community with your own outreach and planning of events. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to connect with you, even if it is virtually. And please, any questions, I'm happy to help. I'll turn it back over to you, Mike.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Are we taking questions? I should have probably asked this beforehand, or are we dealing with this through you, Cara, through questions on that are being typed out, or are people going to raise their hands?
If people could enter the questions into the chat, and then Julia and I will be monitoring. At the moment, I can't see that anybody's written a question. I've just had one comment from Rodney Huff saying, Sylvia, thank you for all of your efforts and help. I've sent many people your way and all have mentioned how helpful your office has been. Again, many thanks. So if anybody has any other comments or questions, you can put them into the chat to myself and Julia or to the group. Otherwise, we'll give it a couple more seconds and then we can move along.
All right, wonderful, thank you.
All right, if we get later questions, we can always send those off to Lavinia at Sylvia Jones's office, and she will gladly make sure that those questions get answered.
Yeah, exactly. And any questions that anybody may have throughout the presentation, if you don't get an opportunity to ask, or if you think about something a bit later on, we will always get back to you. So you can message us here or through the usual channels by email or phone.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Sylvia, for attending tonight. We really appreciate it. You're always very supportive of what we do. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Sylvia. It looks like you're off the hook.
Sorry, I skipped ahead there. I'm not quite sure how that happened. There we go.
It's all right. We will we'll move along from there. Like we said, if there are any questions, you're more than welcome to enter it into the chat, us an email, and we can forward those off to Ms. Jones's office. Next up, we are pleased that Kyle Seaback is able to join us from Ottawa this evening. Welcome, Kyle, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks, Mike, and good evening, everyone. It's great to see so many people, so many businesses that work so hard to make downtown Orangeville the really fantastic place that it is. I've been to many of your stores and businesses, and I know how hard everyone works to try and make things work as we sort of enter, I guess, the third year of the pandemic. So keep up all the hard work. I know I've helped many of you navigate the federal programs, whether it's the wage subsidy or the rent subsidy. one of the things I am hearing more and more from is the fact that new businesses don't have any support at the federal level. And I can tell you, I can't imagine how challenging that is. We're entering the third year of the pandemic, and it seems as though the federal government thinks that nobody should have opened a business in these last 3 years because you have to show a revenue decline, all these other kinds of things to access any of the programs when we enter into a period of lockdown or restriction. So I can tell you, I'm going to work very hard this parliamentary session. It's starting on January 31st to make sure that the government is aware of the hardship that this is causing, the fact that we're in year 3 and a lot of businesses have started during that time and they need supports just like businesses that started 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I take that as a personal mission to try and get that changed. If anyone has any questions or any programs that they have questions about, my office is always available. We're there to help. My number is 519-941-1832. Email kyle.seaback@parle.gc.ca. You can get all that information, I'm sure, from Allison. Happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, keep up the great work. And of course, Orangeville BIA, thanks for all you do to help our businesses and make the downtown of Orangeville the amazing place that it is.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Kyle. I appreciate you taking up time while you're in Ottawa today. Next up, flip my screens here. Along with most of members of council, Mayor Sandy Brown is also with us tonight, and Sandy would like to say a few words before we get started with today's business. So thank you for joining us, Sandy. You're up.
All right. Thank you, Mike. On behalf of Orangeville Town Council and all the residents of Orangeville, first of all, I want to congratulate Mike for his new position as president of the Orangeville BIA. Great to see Mike. I know you've been a member of this business community for many years, and looking forward to your stewardship of this organization. Again, many thanks, as previously stated by Ms. Jones and Mr. Seaback, to the BIA staff and board for their continuing support to the downtown business community through this very difficult time. And thanks to our federal and provincial governments for all of the support that they've given to the business community in general. I think we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We look forward to this coming year. And I just want to say all the best to all of the BIA members for a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2022. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Sandy, and thank you for your kind words. I will do my best. It's been an interesting month, but get to jump in his chair and then right into an AGM. Luckily, I'm comfortable talking, so that's a good thing. Thank you very much, Sandy. We're going to move on to the OBIA Board of Management. It's been a while since we've been since we've all been together. Now that I just said that I'm good at talking, so we wanted to make sure that you can still recognize us. We're grateful to have such a great team to work with, and I just want to take a minute to say thank you to my fellow board members. We have a few new faces this year. We welcome David Nairn from Theatre Orangeville, Julie Thurgood Burnett from SBA and Associates, and Rodney Huff from the Entrepreneurs Club, who are all joining us again Rodney's joining us again after taking a few years break. As well, we'd like to do a special thanks to our past chair, Joe Samet, and past treasurer, Sean Corso. I personally am very much involved in this BIA because of both of those members. I take great pride in knowing that we've done some great things over the years. As with everything these days, you may have noticed that similar faces are not on the board. A few of our long-standing members have left the boards, and we know that they will remain engaged members. So thank you, Joe and Sean, for giving us 7 years of dedicated years of service. And it was very much a pleasure volunteering with you. All right. The board is a great way to get involved in your business community and to get to know your business neighbors. If you're interested in joining the board, please contact Allison or Julia, and they will be happy to send you all of the information that you may need. We are very much fortunate to have such a dedicated BIA staff. Alison Shield, our full-time general manager, is celebrating her 13th year as, her 13th AGM with us. Alison has a wealth of experience, and she has built and managed a great team. Together, they've been navigating the ever-changing COVID-19 landscape with lots of success. The rest of the staff here works part-time. Cara and Julia both joined us just before the pandemic began, and they have jumped in with both feet. They're doing an outstanding job of keeping us informed, engaging members, and attracting visitors through their varied responsibilities. Gary, our market coordinator, went above and beyond to ensure a smooth transition of the farmers market through several adaptations over the course of the past 2 years. Despite all of the challenges, the market is doing very well, and we look forward to seeing it attract hundreds of people every Saturday. We also have Matt and Lindsay Shield continuing to pitch in whenever we need an extra pair of hands. So thank you to our OBIA staff. It's definitely been an interesting couple of years. So thank you for all your hard work. It's very much appreciated. The BIA also has a dedicated Better Together task force that has lots of great plans to animate our downtown, but the pandemic keeps seeming to get in our way. Regardless, they always come up with ideas to adapt to whatever situation we find ourselves in. With staff's help, many of these ideals have been implemented with great success. We will learn more about the task force initiatives a little later on in the presentation, but I wanted to say a special thank you to this dedicated, hardworking group of small business owners. Right. Despite it being a very difficult year for small businesses, 17 businesses had the courage to open brick and mortar locations in downtown Orangeville in 2021, and we wish them great success. Those new businesses include Thistle and Rose Pub, Jay's Craft Shack, Broadway Cannabis, Studio 6, Schwab Shawarma, the UPS store, Mocha Bubble Tea, the Greystones Cafe, Greystones Restaurant and Lounge, Music Together, Domestic Divas, Headwaters Heating and Cooling, GM Accounting and Taxation, Honeybee Apothecary, Broadway Gold Exchange, Skin by Mosaic, Beyond Aesthetics by Angela, the Shafford 200 Medical Center, Fire and Flower Cannabis, which was formerly the Satika Cannabis, Be Healthy Counseling, and Wicked Shortbread 2. Unfortunately, we have had one business close down, which is the Paws and Claws, and Green Monkey Creative has relocated outside of the BIA. Thankfully, the downtown vacancy rate does remain low compared to other downtowns where we only have 3 current vacancies. If we can move to the next slide there for me.
Can you hear me? I did move to the next slide. Do you see the COVID-19 governmental control measures timeline on your screen?
Yeah, it just jumped on me.
Okay.
Did everybody hear what I just said? I hope it didn't just cut out completely.
I could hear you.
Okay. Well, as long as you can hear me, Alison, that should be fine.
Yes, I'm the most important.
So here's a cool little graph that Cara came up with. It's the COVID-19 governmental control measures timeline through 2021. So this slide represents the ins and outs of the pandemic. As you will remember and can see from this graphic, the restrictions and closures came and went, and then came again this year. The bottom part of the slide shows the mandated closures for the types of businesses that were affected. The red represents closure, orange represents partial restrictions, and yellow full opening with masks and vaccine passports. We are all looking forward to January 31st when things can begin to reopen again. So this is neat for me to see. I mean, I've certainly felt it as much as all of the other restaurants and merchants downtown have felt. This particular one has probably sucked the most for most of us. not only being the dead of winter and not being able to talk to people, but just the Januaries are always usually slow. So hopefully this January 31st, we can all ramp up again and start getting ourselves back to normal. So the OBIA's mission to unite and connect through collaboration and purposefulness, that's a large word, working smarter together. As an organization that supports small businesses with competing and often contradictory demands on its resources, the BIA has adopted this mission to keep us on track. This mission serves as a reminder that we need to work together and improve the area as a whole. Like in past years, as many of you have seen, we still have our main 5 strategic pillars that are our focus. So just like many of your businesses, COVID-19 really changed the way that the OBIA operates. BIA staff and the Board of Management have adjusted to a new way of doing business by using online services to share documents and Microsoft Teams and Zoom for internal and external collaboration. We quickly pivoted away from planning large-scale events and planning to focus on supporting members and creative ways to attract customers. As we go through the 5 strategic pillars, you will get a better idea of the work that staff has been doing. So as always, the number 1 pillar has been member engagement. So through member newsletters, contests, marketing support, and resource sharing, as well as member meetups. The next pillar is our customer attraction. So contests, scavenger hunts, farmers markets, coupons, and gift certificates have been the major drive in 2021, as well as videos, events, and the shopdowntownorangeville.ca website. Stakeholder alignment is the 3rd pillar, and that includes collaborations with the library on exploring books, Way to Go productions on live entertainments, and on the town streetscape initiatives and marketing initiatives. The 4th pillar is the Beautified unique spaces, so new and engaging, fun seasonal displays, as well as upgrading our winter planters. And organizational effectiveness, which is online meetings, restructured workflow, and redefined responsibilities. So as you can see, they're very similar to all of the past years, but it's more moving away from some of the events that we normally do and moving towards getting people engaged in either online shopping or ordering, and directing people through our website. Sorry, bear with me just a second here. So back to the first pillar, which is member engagement. Engaging members and supporting our members has become our highest priority in the past few years. The BIA allocated more human resource hours to better support members through the shutdowns and fall and summer recovery periods. This extra staffing has helped the BIA pivot more quickly and easily as the situation evolved. I think we can all agree that this money is very well spent, that the team is keeping us well informed, and that Julie is doing a great job getting us involved. More engaging weekly member updates keep our membership informed on the key BIA issues. Our average open rate for the newsletter through our newsletter through the constant contact is 40%, and the industry average is about 14%. So these newsletters are doing well. We want everybody to open and read our newsletters, please, so we can keep it going. We also encourage members to keep in touch with the OBIA members group on Facebook, where we post the latest news, get to know each other a little bit more, and to share resources. We currently have 127 members in the group, and if you haven't joined, we do encourage you to do so, so please do. We also have member contests like the pumpkin carving contest and window decorating contests. Those were a big hit with our members this year. We want to thank everybody who did participate. Y'all blew us away with your creativity and enthusiasm. The Great Pumpkin Pop Cup, sorry, that's a mouthful too. The Great Pumpkin Pop-Up winners this year were Joanna's Karate School, Son of a Chef Bakery, and Jay's DIY. In total, there were 47 incredible creative entries, and staff is glad that they didn't have to choose the winners. Here's a small sample of the top 3 winners and a few other great entries. Congratulations to the top 3. The winners won some local marketing bucks, and donations in the names of their business were made to Choices Youth Shelter. Our downtown was really festive this holiday season as well. Everyone did a tremendous job with decorating their windows this year, and we want to thank you all for your efforts in making their storefronts so inviting. So the winners of the window decorating contest for that was Pear Home, Koros Games, and Suzanne Gardner Flowers. Pear Home won a quarter-page ad included with graphics in the Hills magazine. Koros Games wins $200 in marketing bucks, and AG Flowers won $100 in marketing bucks. So congratulations to the winners of the decorating contest. It was really neat walking downtown and seeing all of them this year. The Downtown Orangeville successfully ran the Digital Main Street Grant Program again this year and achieved great results. Thanks to the town of Orangeville for delivering another successful round. We hope everybody takes advantage of these kinds of opportunities when they are available. The ASPEC 3 downtown communities, including Orangeville, Grand Valley, and Shelburne, received and shared a Main Street Digital Squad grant. One digital Main Street grant coordinator successfully assisted a total of 61 different small businesses in obtaining grants. 15 Orangeville BIA businesses were successful in obtaining the digital transformation grants of $2,500 each. And that's a total of $37,500 provincial funding that went directly to Orangeville BIA businesses. So that's it seems that was a very successful program, and unfortunately the Digital Main Street program has closed for now, but maybe something will come up in the future for that one. So our second pillar is customer attraction. I hope everybody just let me know that my internet seems to want to be kicking in and out here, so I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Our second pillar is customer attraction. So due to the pandemic, we pivoted away from large scale events in favor of smaller scale events. Of smaller scale, carefully crafted, socially distant events or self-guided activities. BIA staff created 19 unique social media campaigns, 9 unique activities, and 4 COVID responsible events last year. The Take It video was our most popular social media post, probably because I was in it, with 2,755 shares and a total of 24,566 views. This was not a paid promotion, so these results were achieved without any ads and was completely organic. Over $2,700 worth of downtown dollars and coupon vouchers have been circulated in the past year, and $2,300 worth of those have been redeemed. We reimburse 100% of those, so there is no downside to downtown businesses accepting them. So we encourage all businesses to sign up for the program. You simply have to contact Julia or Allison to get started with that program. The next slide shows a little taste of some of what the 2021 initiatives were. It was really great to see faces again last summer, and things like the Joy Book and sidebook sales and Boo on Broadway were a tremendous success this past year, and we will continue to do those moving forward. Shop the Sidewalk and Saturday Sounds live music series, made possible through the partnership with Way to Go Productions, were a welcome diversion this summer. Both were very well received by the public and increased foot traffic downtown. Boo on Broadway replaced the Harvest Celebration and was a tremendous hit within the community. Here's some great public, pumpkin pop-up and Boo on Broadway results. A total of 1,400 votes from the public were made for their favorite pumpkin. 100 plus selfie contest entries from the public were posted. We handed out 600 treat bags during Boo on Broadway activities. 81% increase of Instagram post interactions were made during the Boo on Broadway. The Joy and Light promotion was also very well received. 982 completed Joy Books were submitted, and we estimated that 5,360 Joy Books were stamped at least once, for a total of $196,400 that was spent in our downtown on completed Joy Books. 250,000 is the conservative estimate total for the Joy Book, based on $200 completed Joy Book and $10 incomplete Joy Book for the that were distributed to customers completed in the Joy Books, and a total of 66 coloring contest entries were made. And with all things considered, the outdoor farmers market did very well this year. The winter market got off to a great start by moving to Town Hall and moved to a weekly model instead of the every other week model. The winter market, unfortunately, was forced to close with this latest lockdown because Town Hall was closed, along with all of the other town facilities. But it looks like we are set to reopen on February 5th. So the summer market ran for a total of 25 weeks, which 33% annual increase, and 28 vendors. Sorry, let's make sure I'm just reading this right. 28 vendors, which was a 29% annual increase, with total estimated sales of 54,824, which is 104% annual increase from the year before. The average weekly attendance was about 1,000, which was a 28% decrease. Average weekly sales was 23,818, which was a 60% increase. Average purchase per visitor was $14.91, which was a 9% increase, which by all accounts was a very successful season. The winter market for 2021, which was unfortunately only November, December, it was switched from, like I said before, was switched from a weekly model from a bi-weekly model. 14 vendors joined us for those months, which is a 19% annual decrease. But the average day sales was 7,819, which was a 10% increase. The average bi-weekly attendance was 470, which was a 34% increase. And the average purchase per visitor was 1,664, which is a slight decrease of 25%. And then unfortunately we got shut down. So hopefully we can bring those numbers back up starting February 5th and get the winter market back kicking off again. Our next slide brings us to the Better Together Task Force initiative for 2021, which included the Opera House interactive model. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but it is fantastic. The Halloween Ghoul Gardens, live music Saturdays in November and December, Christmas decor, and the Thanks for Shopping Local sidewalk decals. We are very proud to present the Better Together Task Force accomplishments in 2021. Initiatives included, I should read my notes before I read my slides. I'm going to do that starting now. Initiatives included the new interactive Theatre Orangeville themed mural that was installed on the east wall of the chocolate shop at 114 Broadway. Mural has been added to the town's self-guided art walk tour, and plans for a new Broadway mural are already in the works for 2022. A new thanks for shopping local touch that were added to our sidewalks. The task force stepped up again this year with the Halloween decor, and it created a really spectacular backdrop for the Boo on Broadway activities. Several new winter and Christmas themed decor items were added in various locations downtown. The windy weather was a bit challenging, but they did their very best to keep things standing. Special thanks to the Town of Orangeville's Park and Rec Department for their invaluable assistance and supporting both of these seasonal decor initiatives. Live Music Saturdays was held during the holiday shopping season and was hosted by Broadway Music. This live music series was well received and provided performance opportunities for local musicians in a year when opportunities had been scarce. The Hidden Gems summer flyers were updated and distributed at the visitor center and the large downtown directory. The directories were also updated this year. So thanks to our wonderful friends at Branching Out Support Services for making sure that the brochure boxes were filled. Task Force members are looking forward to overcoming whatever challenges this year brings us, and hope that you support their efforts by participating in our initiatives and encouraging your customers to explore our downtown. We all want to create experiences that give people a reason to make our downtown a destination. No notes on this one, so I can read right off the slide. These websites, social media stats speak for themselves. All these results were achieved organically. So the downtown orangeville.ca had 34,312 users, which was a 27% increase, and 88% of those were new users. The 2021 social media reach for the downtown and farmers market combined for Facebook was 10,665 followers. There was 8,739 page likes, which accounted for a 9% annual increase. Instagram has 6,116 followers, which is a 23% annual increase. And the Twitter account has 2,143 followers, which is a 5% annual increase. This is pretty cool too. We are proud of our staff and Better Together Task Force for creating multiple initiatives that have helped our members throughout the years. This year, they were the proud winners of the Town of Orangeville's Arts and Culture Community Impact by an Organization Award, and this was for Downtown Orangeville's Pandemic Recovery Initiative.
I think Mike, did we lose you?
I hope not. Am I back now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. All right, so I'm sure that many of you have heard Allison say that we didn't have a parking problem. If we didn't have a parking problem, we have a bigger problem. And this rang true again last year. There was a lot less strain on parking resources in 2021 due to the pandemic, and we are looking forward to the days when downtown is teeming with guests and customers, and it's a bit harder to find a parking space. The town is still considering redevelopment of the 82 to 90 Broadway that will include more public parking spaces. The recently released parking strategy will help inform future decisions around parking, but decisions on implementation is still a few years away. Rest assured that the BIA board and staff will stay on top of of this issue, and we will share information with everyone as things evolve. If you want more information on the parking strategy or possible 82 to 90 Broadway development, please contact any of the BIA staff, and they will fill you in on the ins and outs of what's happening with that. Stakeholder alignment, our third pillar, can be an underrated pillar, but representation on committees and boards create an open dialogue and fosters a spirit of cooperation. This keeps us informed so decisions can be made with a wider lens. The town of Orangeville recently released a new tourism plan, parking strategy, and a community improvement plan is still in the works. If recommendations on these documents are implemented, they will have a big impact on downtown Orangeville. Maintaining a strong working relationship with town colleagues will be essential in building a strong, resilient destination downtown. All right, and the beautified, unique space is our fourth pillar. It's what people talk about most when they refer to downtown Orangeville. As with most things, it takes a village to get things done, and our streetscape is no exception. Partnering with the town of Orangeville's Parks and Rec department to help us with seasonal displays and with public works for the town Christmas tree is a must for us. The Better Together Task Force pitched in big this year, as did many of our members with our own beautiful and creative seasonal displays. Special mention goes to Carter's for their seasonal spirit and the amazing quick changing skeleton. It really did help dress up downtown. And organizational effectiveness is our fifth pillar. When Julia, our part-time member ambassador, engages and supports members, and she has recently taken on a lot of the social media marketing. Julia also comes up with many of the ideas that are transformed into BIA initiatives. Cara, our part-time administrator, keeps things organized, monitors and relays information, supports programming and the day-to-day operations. Cara has taken on a lot of graphic design work in the past few months, and we love her fresh designs. Gary is our part-time farmers market coordinator and manages the day-to-day operations of the outdoor and winter markets. Gary has done a tremendous job with navigating the market through rough COVID waters, and despite it all, the market seems to be more popular than ever. DowntownOrangeville.ca and our social media channels were constantly shifting gears to keep up with the ever-changing COVID reality. When we reopened in the summer, staff did a delicate balancing act between attracting visitors, but not too many. Lack of public washrooms put an undue burden on business owners, so we were careful not to invite people to town that lived more than a short drive away until washrooms opened up for public use. As the situation evolved, the BIA shifted gears and began hosting small-scale events and by supporting members in various ways, depending on the type of business and the opening stage. The Board of Management allocated funds to support the BIA's COVID response in the 2021 budget, but COVID restrictions made it challenging to execute many of these ideas. We hope to make up for that this year. Supporting members was our top priority again this year, so you can expect more of what we've been doing. All right, so now I will present the 2021 preliminary report first, and then we will move on to the 2022 budget. After the budget, we will do a quick 2022 preview and have a question period before voting. So our 2021 budget preliminary financial report is what you might expect considering the year that we've had. Revenues were lower than budgeted and came in at 460,445 because we didn't earn any events revenue due to the pandemic. Total expenses were also lower than budgeted. Due to COVID-19, we were only able to spend a fraction of the amounts budgeted for events and special recovery projects. But as you will see, the unused funds will be rolled into the 2022 budget and will fund our 2022 special recovery projects budget. Our administration costs went up a little bit, mostly due to tax write-offs from the MPAC taxation assessments. Staff time cost us a bit more than we budgeted for last year, but was essential to increase staff time in order to produce the pretty impressive results that we were able to achieve in 2021. In 2022, we expect more revenues. We expect total revenues to be $477,500. The total annual operating expenses to be $477,500, and the special recovery budget is estimated at around $157,356. This is estimated at this point. The 2022 budget is based on the traditional year's operating expenses that will be funded through the levy. The BIA levy has not been increased since 2014. The budget also includes special project section that will support downtown Orangeville's COVID-19 and sidewalk reconstruction recovery. These projects will be funded through the accumulated annual surpluses from 2020 and 2021. We really hope that things open up more fully this year and we can utilize the funds to support recovery as plans. There will be a list of recovery projects that follow, but you will see that the BIA does have a healthy reserve of $171,953. So I'm going to move on to the 2022 program preview now, and we'll come back to the financial report and budget in a few minutes to answer questions and to do a vote. Please remember to use the chat function if you have any questions. All right, so the following slides are going to give a brief preview of our plans for 2022. As I mentioned, the 2022 budget is based on the traditional year's expenses plus a built budget that is designed to support downtown's recovery, both for COVID-19 and the sidewalk reconstruction that's coming in the fall of 2022. As you can see, the list of projects include the Blade Sign pilot projects, the grants, an update to the BIA's strategic plan, and the long-awaited branding projects. The branding will better align downtown's marketing product with the town of Orangeville's new tourism brands, and will bring a fresh new look for a fresh new post-reconstruction downtown. These projects also include new benches, waste receptacles, bike racks, electrical outlets that create a fresh new look to the heritage core after the sidewalk reconstruction project is complete, and will allow us to create some mini performance spaces in various locations that we can program for years to come. We also hope to add new programming, events, and marketing in 2022. These will be planned and executed based on timing, restrictions, opportunity, member feedback, industry recommendations, and great ideas. In the meantime, 2021 initiatives will continue into 2022, and new initiatives will be added as and when the situations warrant. We will build on the great progress that we have made in the past few years in engaging members. We will continue with what's been working, like friendly member visits, weekly member updates, urgent bulletins, social media support, and add new initiatives in response to member feedback and circumstances of the day. Julie is doing a great job keeping us informed and encouraging all of us to participate in BIA initiatives, and we can expect more of this in 2022. The BIA will advocate on behalf of its members in advance and through the sidewalk development projects. The project is expected to begin in August or September, hopefully September. We know it's going to be disruptive, but it's long overdue, and we are looking forward to safe sidewalks and a fresh look. The BIA's Blade Sign Grant program launched last year and have had one successful application so far, but based on communications with members in late last year, we do anticipate receiving several applications in the next few months. Please remember to call or email the BIA office of all the details on this great program. The grant covers up to $635 for a new and qualifying blade sign. All right, 2021 initiatives and activations will be adapted and as appropriate to whatever level of opening we find ourselves in. These will include a live entertainment series, scavenger hunts, social media campaigns, the farmers market, and shop the sidewalk sale. Larger events will be tentatively planned with capacity limits and the sidewalk reconstruction project in mind. New initiatives such as the newest Fork It, Let's Get Take It promo will be developed as the situation warrants. Carl's graphic design work really freshens up freshened up things last year, and we look forward to seeing more of it. The BIA board and staff will adapt to whatever the year brings. I think we did a great job shifting gears last year whenever a new challenge or opportunity arose, and I know that we're all committed in continuing with this approach. Working together is always best. BIA staff will continue to look for new opportunities to work with our community partners. The town of Orangeville was very supportive of extended restaurant patios and outdoor merchandise displays again this year. And Parks and Rec helped us out with some of our seasonal decorations. We will do our utmost to ensure that these programs and collaborations will continue into 2022. All right, so that brings us to the end of the presentation part of the meeting. Here are a few simple pie charts that show the 2021 and 2022 expenditures by percentages. You will see that the budgets are fairly consistent with the exception of the special projects recovery figures. We're going to go back to the budget slide and give everyone a few minutes to ask questions through the Zoom chat function before we start the voting process. You're going to have to excuse me, my mouth is a little dry. This High Street Best Bidder does a good job of fixing that though. Is that a shameless plug in the middle of a presentation? All right, so we will do our best to answer your questions tonight, but if the answer requires further investigation or discussion, we will reply by email or by phone after the meeting, just as soon as we can. Cara, if we have any questions, would you please start reading them one at a time? If not, we can wait just a minute to give everybody a chance to submit them through the chat function.
As of the moment, I haven't received any questions about the budget or otherwise. Julia, are you receiving anything separately?
No questions so far. Just a nice message from the task force to please get in touch with them if you have any creative ideas to make Orangeville even more awesome.
Okay. Once again, if there are any questions, throughout the rest of this meeting, or afterwards, you can always get in touch with us and we will respond as soon as we can and find the answer for you. Otherwise, it doesn't look like anybody has any questions at the moment, Mike. So we can begin polling if there isn't anything else that we need to share.
I know for me, we've gone through this budget the last few Board of Management meetings, and the biggest concern that we have, because we hadn't been putting the money back into reserves, is that to make sure that we have access to that surplus, to make sure that in 2022, we can do recovery projects for downtown Orangeville, to make sure that we are increasing foot traffic and that we are increasing online traffic and digital traffic the way it's going. That I know is very important for my business, as I'm sure it is for most businesses in downtown, to make sure that in 2022 we are increasing foot traffic and getting people back to downtown.
So Mike, perhaps we can do one last call for questions or comments, and then I think you could probably move to the voting.
Right, perfect. So this is your last call for this meeting, and please keep in mind, if you're looking over the slides, or if you're watching the YouTube video afterwards, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with any of the staff members or even board members. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
We'll also post the presentation on our website under the member tab, so you can always go back and access it from there if you want to take another look at it. And we'll be sending out the link to all of our members in the next member update, so everyone will have access to the slide deck.
Fabulous. All right, so I guess it's time to move on to the official part of the meeting. Please note that only one person per property and or business is eligible to vote. So if your business or property has more than one person attending this meeting, please designate only one person to vote. We can go ahead there now.
Okay, so there are two votes that will need to be cast. This first one, which I'm about to push to everybody's screens, is the motion to vote on the 2021 preliminary financial report. Mike, did you need a motion before that? Or
yes, I suppose I do. Sorry, I'm still pretty new at this. Can I get a, hang on, let me get back to the screen that I was just in. May I have a motion to accept the 2021 preliminary financial report as presented, and to transfer the 2021 annual surplus of $157,356. This is an estimated number, to the BIA reserves.
I might
bring that motion forward.
I think we had Rodney and Troy.
Okay.
I can second that motion, Mike.
Okay, so Rodney, thank you for your motion, and Troy, thank you for your seconds.
Okay, and then I will push the voting out to the membership. I will give you about 30 seconds to approve or reject the same motion for the 2021 preliminary financial report.
If you need longer, just let us know if you're having trouble accessing it.
I'll start seeing the results coming in pretty quickly. And then once I've entered the poll, you'll see the results appear on your screen. So you can see how the voting has gone. I'm sorry if you can hear noise in the background as well. In my home, there are several teenagers playing PlayStation 5 downstairs at the moment. So it's getting a little bit noisy. Okay, I'll just give it a little bit longer. Okay, Are we comfortable moving along?
Yeah, that's a minute now, Cara, so I think that's
Perfect.
okay. And so, Mike, you'll need to request the next motion, please.
All right, and next is a motion to accept the, oh, that's 100% approved for that one, so sorry.
Yep, sorry, that was 100% in approval.
Okay, I apologize, but I don't have what the next motion is in front of me.
The 2022 budget. So if you want, I can read it. I don't know if I'm allowed to. May I read that aloud? And then Mike can get the motion?
Yes.
Okay. So this next motion is for the 2022 budget. A motion to accept the 2022 budget of $634,856, including a BIA levy of $460,000, other revenue of $17,500, and a contribution from reserves of $157,356, and that is estimated. If people would like, I can copy and paste that into the chat also, but I will be pushing this as a vote to the membership also once the board has passed it to.
Thank you, Cara. Sorry about that. May I have a motion to accept the 2022 budget?
I would put the motion forward to accept the budget that Cara just read off.
I will second that emotion. That's Councillor Sherwood.
Is that e-motion, Debbie?
I'm going to second the motion. Rodney put the motion forward.
No, I was just joking because I thought you said I second that e-motion.
Oh, right. Oh,
a little levity.
That's David Nairn's fault, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah.
He started it.
Yeah, that's his gig.
Well, Debbie, you're supposed to sing tonight. Didn't you get the memo?
No, Julie.
I'm getting you back.
That emotion.
All right, thank you very much. So I have a motion from
Rodney and Debbie.
Yep, Rodney and Debbie for the second. Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay, so I'll push the same motion out to the membership. And we'll give everybody a minute again to cast their votes.
While we're waiting for those, the last of the votes to come in, I just wanted to mention we're nearing the end of the meeting now, but I'm happy to keep the meeting open for a little while. We'll stop the recording and stop streaming to YouTube. If anybody wants to stay on and ask some very informal questions of staff, or just chat amongst yourselves for a little while, because we don't always get to see each other. So I'm happy to do that, and we'll keep the line open for a little while. So you can do that if you like.
Okay, and that's the second and final vote finished. Again, 100% approval.
Thank you, Cara.
Thank you, Cara. So yeah, I guess that brings us to the end of the formal part of our meeting. We hope you all enjoyed your downtown drinks and dessert bag. Hopefully we can all get together next year. I'm very much looking forward to rubbing shoulders with everybody. I miss talking to people. Really sad and lonely in this building by myself. But I think this evening turned out pretty well for my first go around. I hope I didn't slip through that too badly. Thank you so much for attending, and please reach out to staff if you have any questions or comments about the meeting, and hopefully we can assist you in any way.
Okay.
Good job, Mike.
Thank you.
Well done, Mike.
If people are comfortable, I can take this offline now and close the recording, and we can have just more a general Q&A session and discussion if people want. Takes the pressure off a little bit.
That would be great. We just need a motion to adjourn, Mike, before.
Yes,
we do
I
that.
was just about to say that. Do I need to
Super,
present a
thank you.
motion to adjourn the AGM for 2022. So I am going to present a motion to adjourn the 2022 AGM.
I'll second that motion there, Mike.
Thank you,
I'm in
Rodney.
favor of that.
Well, we can stay on. We can stay on, Debbie, and chat.